This practice is not really encouraged in Pakistan. And why is it so? Why do the teachers hesitate to go for training programs? And why do the institutions discourage the teachers to attend these programs? The reason is that the label teacher is considered to be an image with perfection. It is considered that the teacher is master of all knowledge, who does not need further training. That is the concept of the society, and that is how the culture runs in Pakistan. Therefore, the teachers themselves also consider themselves that they already have enough knowledge that they need to impart to their students. They need to know that it is not really the question of having knowledge. It is the question of implementing knowledge according to the changing times and the requirements of the students. Things are changing, circumstances are different, there is a lot of influx of technology. Students can get things in just a second. They want to know about the meaning of a word, they just Google it and they come to know what is the meaning of the word. They really don't really need a support from the teacher in the sense that they should be looking into the dictionaries or asking the teacher. So the teacher has to develop a strategy, an activity according to the needs and requirements of the student, keeping in mind what type of a classroom it is. Sometimes there are students who are very fast in doing things and they can immediately find out the meanings or even the use of grammar in their sentences. And they have different means and methods these days for it. There is a long debate going on all the time whether the students should be allowed to keep mobile devices with them or not. It is a very difficult thing to control that in the schools. And in most of the Western schools now, this device has been allowed for the simple reason of keeping the device with the children to let the parents know about the situations going on with the students. And if need be, the student needs to contact the parent, therefore, they are being allowed for that. In such a classroom where the students are allowed mobile devices and they are connected to the internet, the students can very easily find out the answers of many, many questions that are being asked by the teacher. The teacher has to be very careful about it, that in such a class where there is so much of technology going on and it is so much in fashion, how is the teacher going to plan a lesson so that the students really have some learning out of the lesson that they are doing in the classroom? So all these changing circumstances and situations demand that the teachers need to work on these changes and find out ways and methodologies how can they implement effective classroom teaching and which can really convince and make the students understand that whatever is being taught is important for them to learn. Not only the mobile devices, but otherwise also, the brain of the child of today is working at a different wavelength than the child of yesteryears. They learn things in a totally different manner. Maybe they are more visual learners these days, and for that reason, the teacher has to show them a lot. It is recommended that even in the primary school, if the teachers are using multimedia and they are doing presentations on the board or the screen, then it becomes more interesting for the students to follow up. Even when the teachers are telling stories, they can, on their presentation on the screen, they can show different pictures and they can always differentiate between shapes and colors and motions and actions. They can always show that on the screen using multimedia. This will enable the students to understand more because they are most of the time in front of a screen, either a computer screen or a TV screen. In yesteryears, there were many students who were learning from the radio because radio was the ultimate source of information. And there were many, many students who were benefiting from the radio programs. That means in those days, the students were learning from audio devices because radio is an audio device. Because the students were used to listening to the radio in their homes from the age of 4 or 5, because the parents were using radio devices at home, so the children got used to that. And in that respect, those students were audio learners.